Welcome back to Peachy's place. My name's Peachy and this is my place. Hello folks, welcome back to Peachy's place. How you all doing? Yeah. Anyway. Got some servicing I need to do on the Bandit. I've kind of neglected it of late. Now that I'm back up on a high and I'm feeling a lot better about myself, it's time to get busy. And it's also way due for one of these videos. So I really enjoyed doing the road safety series the other day. Thank you very much for watching that, everyone. Thanks for all your comments. It's been incredible the amount of positive feedback I've received in that video. I really appreciate it. I really do, and I'm going to carry on doing them. Before I crack on, there's one thing I want to show you here. I got a new sticker. There it is, Dark Knight. Thank you very much for that. That came in the post the other day, and that's gone in my new toolbox. Speaking of new tools, got a new socket set. I wanted this one because I haven't got anything that big. I'm not likely to need them, but you never know. The worst thing in the world is you go to do a job, you go to get your tools out and you realise you ain't got the tool or the bit that you need to do the job. So that's the third socket set I've got now. That actually comes in handy because while I'm doing this here, Mrs. Peachy's gone off and she's doing an oil change on her bike, which is what I'm going to be doing today. Got my trusty cat litter tray out. I've warmed the bike up. The bike's fully warmed up now, so I'm going to drain this out. Now, I've done videos on the Kawasaki before, but I haven't done an oil change on this yet. And what I found is that, oh hang on, I can't get under there with a tripod. Right, what I found is that on the Bandit, right mate? You alright? What I found is that on the Bandit the plug is on the other side. So it took me ages trying to find that. And I don't know if the camera can see that there. Just there. There we go. That's the drain plug, which was a bitch to find on this. It's immediately obvious on the Kawasaki. As soon as you look at under the engine, you can see exactly where that is. So, right. That's a 17mm bit. Where's it? 17mm bit, 17mm ratchet. First thing you want to do, warm the engine up. Second thing you want to do is get under there, get your cat litter tray under there, and crack that off. So just clean that off, clean off any swarf before you put that bolt back on. Yeah. Not perfect, but much better. Alright, Dad.
Oh, sorry.
Say hello to Peachy's dad. Say hello, Dad. That's so good on YouTube.
Have they have a new camera?
No, I've had this one for a while. It broke and then somehow miraculously came back. Miraculously. No, you're thinking probably the other one that I put on my helmet. Yeah. No, I've had this one for a long time. My trusty old Sanya this is. Right. This here is your clutch pack. You get the oil level there. You can see where your oil is in there. And this bit on top here, if you crack this off, which actually comes off a lot nicer than the Kawasaki does, it must be said. See you later, Pops. Alright, you crack that off, okay? That's going to help get air into the engine, which will push out the rest of that oil. Now, I've mentioned this before, I'll say it again, the reason you want to heat the engine up beforehand is because when you heat the engine you heat the oil, and heating the oil, what that does is makes it runnier, and it helps the process of getting all the oil out, as opposed to it being all thick and gloopy. It just runs a lot easier. And I'm back in the room. time's gone by really, really quick because I really need a garage. The noise out here is oh god, it winds me up. Anyways, I'm back. Mrs. Peachy had a bit of an issue with her bike and I had to rush off and go and help her. So yeah, time to crack on with this before the garage shuts and I can't get rid of my oil. Because we need to dispose of our oil in a environmental friendly way, and there's only one way of doing that. We take it to a plant, etc. But the garage next to me, fortunately enough, he does so many oil changes, a little bit like that, ain't gonna bother him. So he gets rid of the oil for me, which is very nice of him. The next thing I need to try and do is I need to get this oil filter off, which is in there. I'm not sure. The camera's picking it up. There we go. There, you can see it better there. Okay, so there's the oil filter. That needs to come off. Now, the first time I did this on the Kawasaki, it was a nightmare to get off. It had been on there for so long and it had been tightened up so hard because the original one on the Kawasaki had a little nut on there, a little bolt on there, and someone's obviously over tightened it with a spanner or something, and it was a nightmare to get off. Having said that, this one ain't exactly coming easy either. So before I knock the camera with my elbow and destroy my camera again, move that out of the way. Now these should just undo by hand. You should be able to take them off by hand. If they don't come up first, there's a trick to getting them off. Some people like to use there are tools that make this job easier. I haven't got one. The missus has one. It's upstairs. I could go and get it. But then she'd just say, "Oh, what's the matter? I can't get it off by hand." So I will not be beaten. I will persevere. Part of the problem is that it's slipping. Now, this isn't the best of rags to use because it's quite not very porous, so it doesn't provide much friction. And that's all it is. It's just friction. It just comes off with friction. It should be done up hand tight. There's absolutely no reason why, when you put these things on, you need to use any kind of tools at all. But this ain't coming off easy. Okay, so the filter's been cracked off with the aid of a filter wrench in the end. I'm never going to hear the end of this, but it just goes to prove my point. If you put these things on properly in the first place, you don't need a epoxy filter wrench to get them off afterwards. So with your cat litter tray under your filter, you just unscrew that. Filter comes out through your pipes with a little bit of persuasion, and then on that side the frame's in the way. It's going to have to come out the other way, I think. Yeah. And then once that's all drained out, I'm going to clean off the exhaust and the engine block where all the oil's dripped out there. Just give it a quick clean, make sure there's no muck on there or any dirt or debris or anything, a nice clean seal for a new filter to go back onto. Just have a good clean around there. A bit of old rag. This thing. These things come in rolls, buying from Morrison's, I think it was, and they're absolutely great. Just tear a piece off and chuck it away when you're done. Just get in there, make sure there's no crap in there, no debris or anything like that. Remember that apart from lubricating your engine, the other thing that your oil does is it flushes out any bits of swarf, any metal shavings or filings or anything like that. Flushes it all out of your system. So when you do jobs like this, you're going to end up with lots of metal filings and swarf floating about in your filter, on your plug, and all over the place, all inside your engine basically. So it's good to let it really drain out properly, and then clean up whatever you can before you start putting bits back in. Right, first things first, put the new filter back on. When you get it out of the box, alright, you have these little plastic films on them. Don't forget to take that off, please. Because that won't do your bike any good, leaving them on. Okay, what you want to do, before you put the new filter on, get some oil on your finger, get your filter and just rub it around the ring. A nice healthy layer of oil around the ring. And what this will do is it will help it slip. It will help it slip and make it go back on and come off a lot easier. Get a rag, because your hands will be full of grease. That will go onto the filter and it makes it a nightmare to put back on properly. And all you're doing is putting it on as tight as you can with your hand. All you need to do. Once it stops turning, that's it. You don't need to go anymore. You don't need to tighten up with any tools or anything. Once it stops turning by hand, that is it. It won't come off. Give it a quick clean with that. Coming on the other side. Put some oil on my exhaust there. Give that a quick wipe. I'll make that later. Now this, very important. Don't forget to put the plug. Sorry, hang on. Don't forget to put the plug back in, Amanda. Oh, I'm in trouble for saying that. I think I shall be joining the Allen Bolt Club very, very soon. Alright. So there's the plug. Plug goes in there. You can screw that by hand. And then you can just nip that up with your spanner. Just give it a little nip afterwards. There's your inlet. Get your oil. You just pour it in. Now, it is advisable to use some kind of it is advisable to use some kind of what do you call it, like a cone or something, you know, funnel for this. But I haven't got one. I don't use them. I've never had to. Just got to be really careful. Pour that in nice and gently, nice and easy. What you want to do is check this level here. In fact, on most oil cans that I've ever seen, I'm not sure if this one has, yeah, there you go, we've got a level on there. See you later, mate. We've got a level on there. See that grey line? That's your level. And tells you, where is it? 1 litre, 2 litres, 3 litres. Now I know for a fact that this bike takes 3 litres of oil. So I'll carry on filling that up until I've got, that's a 4 litre drum can. So I'll keep filling that up until I've just got 1 litre left. Okay, a little help from the torch on my trusty Samsung. There's a level, it's just sitting below full. Okay, now see if I can spin this around a bit. There's a level on the oil canister, see ya? And that's just sitting between below 2 litres. This is a 4 litre drum or can. That's a 3 litre tank in there. So I know that's nowhere near full yet. What I need to do is warm the bike up, get it running over, and as I do that, that level will drop slightly, and then I'll stick an extra litre in. Okay, and there's my point exactly. Only just start the bike up, right? And the fuel level, the oil level has gone right down, and just about see it's sitting in the bottom of the tank now. So that definitely needs more. Alright? So that's why we check and then top up later, because once you get the bike running, it's going to suck it from the sump around the engine, which is going to free up space here. That's it. The rest, as they say, is purely a clean-up job. I'm going to finish topping that up with oil, give the bike a good clean-up, make sure, check for any leaks or anything coming out the plug, make sure I've got no leaks there, or the oil filter, check for any leaks, give it a good clean. And so thanks very much for watching, ride safe, and I'll see you soon.